So we finally made it.
We made it.
We made it. All right. Well, thank you for coming. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You want to do personal history? Seems pretty smart to start out with, right? Or do you not want to do personal history?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Okay. So when did you start kind of dealing with trucks and kind of thinking that trucks were cool and that's kind of something that you want to do more than maybe a hobby?
Yeah. So when I was in middle school, my dad had a Jeep. He bought a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and we took that thing like the week that he got it to Ocotillo and just went and played around in it and just hit some trails. And he let me drive. I was only 12 or 13 or something like that. He's let me drive, and that was kind of when I got pretty hooked there. I was like, all right, I like this driving stuff. It's pretty fun. And I was riding dirt bikes and stuff a little bit too when I was little and younger, and so I was just kind of into off road from that. And then high school, I my race truck that I have now, I got that truck when I was 15. It was my grandfather's truck, and my dad, when my grandpa passed away, my dad and my uncle gave it to me. I was not expecting it at all. I was pretty surprised, so that was cool. And I didn't know a driver's license yet, but I had a truck, so I was already saving up, putting parts on it and wheels and tires before I even had a driver's license.
That's awesome.
And then then we took it to the desert one time. Before I even did wheels and tires on it, I had my permit, and we took it out there for like a friend's birthday or something like that. Took dirt bikes out, and we were on Nocatee Wells and just like screwing around on the main Ranger Park Road, just like sliding the thing all over the place. I was like, dude, this is so fun. I'm so hooked. And that was it, really. Out of high school, I was like, I got to find a career in this and find a job in it at least, and I worked for a couple of different shops and got my feet wet and just got a little bit of experience and decided to do my own thing.
Nice. And you showed me that, or not, well, I guess you showed everyone, but that drawing that you did on your schoolwork that was like definitely not schoolwork. It was just the back of a trophy truck that you wanted to design.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the picture, it's pretty much a spitting image of my race truck rear end now. It's I was just kind of drawing. The cab is the Nissan cab because it's what I had then, but then I kind of was drawing out how I wanted to set up the tires and all the shocks and everything in the back, and pretty much what it looks like now. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you did shops for a little bit.
Yeah.
You got your feet wet, did like learned fabrication and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I learned fabrication. I got to I worked for Brenthal for a while, the big race team, so I got to do some Baja experience with them. That was really cool. Got to chase the Baja 1000, and it was a point-to-point race that year, so it was like that was super cool to get the full experience of all the way to La Paz and back. And I was down there for pre-running too, so that was cool. I was down there for like 14 days or something. Just went down and back a couple times, and then. And then in 2020, I was working. I actually was going to school. I kind of left the shop I was working at, and then I was going to school. I was kind of working the shop a little bit here and there on the weekends and part-time and stuff. But COVID hit. I also had a broken foot at the time, and I got pretty much laid off. Everyone was like kind of scared about what was going on with work and stuff like that. So I got pretty much laid off, and then I started picking up some side work from some old customers I knew and stuff. People just need some little work done. And then my dad was starting a business at the same time. So I was kind of helping him however he needed help. My dad and I are super close. So I was like, whatever you need, I'll just, come in, give you a hand. And he got a shop in Santa Ana, and I helped him kind of get set up there. And then he's like, yeah, if you need to, work on trucks, you want to do some side work here, it's no big deal. So I was kind of taking on a couple side jobs. And then next thing you know, there's like 10 Raptors in the parking lot, and it just kind of blew up.
I can attest to that too. Yeah. When I went over there last week, I had no parking. I was like, what is going on? Yeah. But, that's cool.
Yeah.
What was your first mod that you ever did to someone else's vehicle? First mod that someone paid you to do for them?
Man, I messed up some people's sound systems in high school, I think.
Okay. Hey, how about first mod from Hanna Race shop?
Oh, first mod from HRD. We did
because I'm pretty sure I messed up some people's sound systems and put some pretty bad LEDs in some people's Hondas back in high school.
Yeah. I think it would probably be my good buddy Justin's truck. His Instagram handle is Lugnut. His truck's got a cage and our mid-travel kit on it now and bed rack and everything. But he had like another bed rack in there, and we just added some tubes, some basic little stuff, some little changes to his bed layout. And that was like one of the first jobs the first job I can remember doing at our shop, actually.
I think I met him at Off-Road Expo probably in 2016, maybe 2016, because I was still in the Coast Guard, and I'd gone to Off-Road Expo with I'd gone with my Super Duty, and then I went for, I forget who else I went for the next year, and I brought my Raptor, and I'm pretty sure I met Justin, and he showed me like pictures of his truck, and I was like, that's cool, man. And I like Raptors weren't really like a thing, the Gen 1 was the only one available at that time.
Right.
The Gen 2 wasn't even out because it was 2016. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I was like, I want to get like the next one. It's now. He's like, we're talking about it. So yeah, I remember meeting him a long time ago, and I'd seen pictures of that truck, not knowing that you had worked on it. And then now fast forward 9 years, and now that's your oldest customer, and we're here having a podcast. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
He's a day oneer for sure. His truck's in the shop right now, actually doing a full prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your like bread and butter right now that you like doing for the shop? Like full builds, or do you like custom stuff, or do you bumpers and
trying to stay away from the custom stuff right now. Doing a lot of our like small parts. They're not the funnest, but honestly, we have some fun with them. Like our bed supports, our accessory racks, all that stuff. We have fun making them and doing those. We've been moving a lot of those lately. Our mid travel kits also, and selling those. Our new product, the swing set steering, that thing's hot right now. We're still
really, really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. We have 5 trucks at the shop right now that are getting it. All the parts should be here this week, if not early next week. To keep rolling on that. That we'll have all the pricing and everything locked down for that in the next couple weeks or so, and then that'll be on the website. Then we also do our rear bumpers for the Gen 1s we're just coming out with right now too. And then once that one's 100% done on the website, which should be in about a week or so, we'll do the Gen 2 and 3 as well. We are making lower control arms.
Oh yeah?
OEM replacement lower control arms with a bypass mount and limit strap.
Billet or
no, fabricated lower
okay.
control arms. Yeah. But they'll have the bypass mount.
Nice.
And limit strap tabs.
Stock width or
stock width.
Ooh, yeah. There you go.
And we're using we're designing it around ball joints. So we're using the factory Raptor ball joints.
Nice.
Yeah. So serviceability will be easy. You're not gonna get clunks when it gets worn out or whatever. It's gonna work like factory.
Do you think there's a bigger market for the factory upgraded things like factory plus?
I think so on the new trucks.
Or do you think there's still the bigger market for like the +3 wider track width, all that kind of crazy, like going even crazier?
Yeah, I think right now on the new trucks, the markets really they perform so well out of the box. I think that everyone just wants to keep them stock for now, or for the most part, just make them a little better. And no one wants to spend $30,000 on the front end to put a kit on it and stuff. Well, some people do. Obviously, SEC's got that market locked right now. They're doing a bunch of big full builds. But it seems like the majority of the guys with the new trucks are pretty content with the performance of them out of the box. They just want like a little more. And I think everyone wants, like, the 3.2s are great, but we have a couple guys we've done the 3.2s on. They're like, I want a little more, and I think the bypass is going to be the solution for that.
So do you think the bypass is going to work? So let's call it like because the 3.2s are live valve, or are they dual live valve? Or are they single still for the 3.2?
They're still single right now.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay, so 3.2 is still single live valve. They're like a smart shock, right? Do you think pairing it with a bypass that is still like a hand turned kind of bypass that you don't have adjustability over inside the truck, do you think that that's going to pair okay?
I think it's going to pair fine. Yeah. I think there's going to be some tuning and adjustments that are going to need to be done there, but I don't think it's going to be a bad thing.
Okay.
I think adding more dampening control is going to be good, and with some adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So where do you see HRD going in the next 10 years? 5 years, 10 years.
So we're really talking about doing a chassis, a full like a replacement chassis.
Okay.
So I would like to have a few different options on this, like a full, full stock replacement chassis with a bypass mount. Basically, what we did like last weekend on the blue truck, where you can just basically lift the cab off, pull the motor out, sit it in our chassis, which is going to be a 3/16 chromoly chassis that's fabricated
the whole way.
All the way. Yeah. So you're not getting any weird bends in the middle of the chassis or flex points. It'll actually be a rigid chassis, and then you can have cage options. You can have a full back half options, whatever. But I'd like to just start with the platform of a chassis that has center section frame rails with transmission mount, all for stock motor and trans and all that stuff, and front diff.
Sure.
But I think the chassis on the new trucks are not as strong, especially as like the Gen 1s were. And it's showing, and they're as time goes on, we're watching the coil buckets just fall apart on them. And there's solutions to all of the problems, but I think the real big one solution will be a full chassis.
So instead of plating it from the outside and reinforcing it with gussets and doing the things that you kind of do when you upgrade a truck to like a mid-travel truck, or like you want to stiffen the frame, you ditch the frame entirely. Everything, and your frame would be stock mounting points, everything like that, and you just go from there.
Yeah, so I'd like to do one with like the stock rear leaf spring mounting points, and like have that as a platform, and then also have a version, and then we'll have a C notch built into that already. Just for the standard, because why not? And then we'll have like a 4-link, like a 5-link setup, right, for like the newer model trucks to run your daily driver, and then we can do like a bed rack or however guys want to do it, from there. But mainly just get the chassis. The tricky foundational parts are getting the transmission motor and front diff and body mounts all situated,
all matched and aligned, and how they are from the factory.
Yeah, and get fixtures for that portion of the chassis. The rear section and the front section, we can do different stuff with those. We can do a long travel setup in the front, mid travel, or just a stock coil bucket, and then in the back, 4-link bed rack or whatever.
Imagine having that. Imagine having what you're saying as a chassis that you can just build on. So basically, a guy can come to you and go, "Hey, I want to go crazy." Hey, you gotta go inside, funny guy. You gotta go inside. Where's mommy? Go inside. Go inside. Hey, put pants on. I heard that. I heard that coming. That's funny. So I was saying, imagine that, like a person can come to you with a truck, stock truck, and maybe start, Gen 1, a little bit older frame, older body, older truck. You can just start a little bit cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And still like the engine. And then come to you and say, "Hey, I want to start with basically your chassis." And then they can just scale up and scale down from that point, and you get to just basically add. So basically you have a cage you can add a 5-link, you can add, bypasses, you can do whatever you want, basically all off that frame. And it's completely like user customizable, right?
Exactly.
That would be super cool.
And then, even having a frame like that without a cage is going to be a way better performing truck, because the chassis rigidity is going to be so much stiffer. And that thing is just the feedback you're going to get from the truck is going to be so much better. Because, these stock trucks are meant to, twist and bend a little bit. So, I think it'd be pretty cool. Our designer, or the guy that draws all our parts for us, Brian in Performance Metal Co. He does a lot of drawing for a couple other guys as well. Ocho Fab, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, down in Oceanside. He does the Bronco chassis. So like kind of inspired by that, because I think that's just an awesome solution for these older trucks. So that the C notch, C frames are just kind of falling apart and stuff. And so if you can get that bitch and cab on a real chromoly chassis, it's going to be a totally different game.
That would be very cool.
I think it'll be the same thing for the Raptor. Just do basically the same concept. And then, but for guys that, when we put in the mid-travel kits on the trucks and do the cages and stuff like that, we're welding all these frame plates on. We do overlays on the frame. You're gluing nice metal onto pot metal though too.
Yeah, a little bit.
The frames aren't the nicest alloys, so it would be a lot nicer to have a solid foundation. You don't even need to do an overlay plate. You just weld straight, just lane or tube straight to the frame. Kind of everything's like that on it, but
that would be very, very cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You don't have to divulge everything. What do you think, like time frame wise, for that? Like next 5 years kind of thing?
Oh, for sure. Next 2 years probably.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
We already have sections of it drawn. So as we're developing our parts on our chassis, we're keeping this in mind. Yeah, we're keeping the next steps in mind to do a full chassis. It's really about just time. And Brian's he's tied up with a lot of stuff, and the reason I like using him is I think he's one of the best designers in the industry. He's got a lot of knowledge, and he's shared a lot of knowledge with me, and like really helped me understand things the level I do for sure. And so I definitely want to have him do it. I think we can incorporate some cool minor changes to the stock chassis to make them handle better and improve what we already have there. But
that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So will it be a different one for Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3? You'll have to have a different one per, or can you modify a little bit? And
yeah, so we'll probably have the center section will be about the same. You know, the motor mount situation will be about the same, with the different variables between the motors and the trans and transfer cases. But the rear section we can have, so we'll have like a stock frame for like a 5-link setup, right? For the new trucks. So they can basically just put their bone stock links on it if they want to. And then same with the Gen 1, you can put your regular leaf springs on it if you want to. But I got to look at that and see what's going to be worth making, because you don't want to have a million different options either. You know, it just gets out of control. And you're not going to make any money there. So we'll have to kind of balance and see where the demand is at, and when we get further along in development.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, switching gears, what's your proudest moment in your entire life?
My entire life?
Your entire life.
Oh, my son was born for sure.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah. I wanted to go away from truck stuff for a minute, and I figured that would be a good way to. Yeah. Yeah. I would say the same thing for me, for both kids. Cool. Well. Low stress.
Yeah. It's like, once you like get into it, it's kind of fun, you know. It's it's not bad.
You can really talk about shit that like you like talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why, like, when you first started the podcast, I was like, man, I should have started a Raptor podcast, because I can do that every day. I like, and I genuinely enjoy it. Like I don't know. There's a lot of guys that work on Raptors and other shops that don't like Raptors, for sure.
Which is weird. Because it's not like, you can do a job that maybe you don't. This is funny about the industry. You could do a job that maybe you don't love, right? But it has great benefits and it pays, well, and maybe the commute's not too far from work and all that kind of stuff. And maybe you're smart at it. I mean, you're pretty good at it, kind of thing, but you don't love it, right? But like in the Raptor world, like there's not a ton of jobs that like pay super well and have all these great, super great healthcare, and like all this shit. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? It's kind of it still lays on the hobbyist side of the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you don't like Raptors and doing like off-road stuff, like why would you work at an off-road shop? Because the other benefits aren't there.
Yeah, I think you'd be miserable, because like kind of we were talking about earlier, I was asking you about what you work for, commercial or residential. You said commercial, and I was like, that's great. That's probably better. We were like the most residential you could get, right? Because we would work on guys' toys. Yeah. It's like, that's the guys, but also we're where they go to for fun. So like they come in the door with smile. Everyone walks in with a smile because they're just excited to see the shop and see what we got going on. We look at these trucks and shocks every day, so it doesn't get, we're used to it. When guys come and see a 4.5-inch bypass shock, they're like, wow. Like, it's
they're holding it like it's like another child.
Exactly.
Because it's that big,
Exactly. And so it's cool. And if you're not on that level, if you're not stoked on it, you probably shouldn't be there.
You shouldn't be doing it,
because you're going to be killing vibes as soon as people walk in the door. You might not even realize you're doing it, but it's going to happen. And it's a cool thing that I feel like I've built at our shop, is we have really a cool chemistry between the guys. Like, we all really love what we do, and like my guys go on all the trips with us. They spend their weekend building their trucks and stuff, and we all like really have passion for the sport,
Yeah. And I think this whole industry is still incredibly passion based.
Yes.
Because the money is not at this level. There's an institutional level.
Sure.
That there's a lot of money.
And the effort that it takes to put in to get money out, right? Like you can get the money out, but like sometimes you'll be like, dang, I did like that many hours that job was kind of just a snowball and was a total.
I did 190 hours and I did not make 190 hours worth of money.
Exactly. Yeah. So that definitely happens, but I see the long run goals here, And
so, do you have a favorite build that you've ever worked on?
Yeah, I would say actually currently the F-150 that we're building, the Super Cab F-150.
That's gonna be really cool.
It's really cool. We're doing a lot of new parts on it, and it's just been like really fun. Our customer Tony, he lives out in Vegas. He's the coolest guy ever. He's got a Gen 2 Raptor, but he's got he actually originally stopped by with that, talking to us about building it, and I kind of brought up the idea about doing this new style F-150 with a 5.0 and with the Whipple, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds cool. It's Super Cab too, huh?" And then there we go.
You can't get Super Cab Raptors anymore.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Yeah. And if you're going that far on a build,
it's got to be the right length.
Yeah, you want that short wheelbase. So that build's really fun. We're having Mike and I are having a freaking blast with it. And, just the new parts and a lot of billet stuff. And so that one, and then aside from that, I'd say Oscar's truck was a lot of fun. It took a long time, or not a year and a half. Wasn't really that long, honestly, but that was kind of the same thing back then. We were really fresh. We'd only been around like a year and a half or so, and or 2 years by the time it was done. And that was like, one of the first mid-travel kits, and custom 4-link, and just really fun.
And that's probably something that people don't even think about or like fathom when they're talking about, like, I have my Gen 2 or Gen 3 that I want to take to you kind of thing, or Gen 1. But you're leaving that truck for a long time. This isn't like going to the tire shop and getting wheels and tires and you're out in 4 hours. They, hey, come back in 5 hours. We'll see you.
Yeah.
This is like
depending on what you're doing.
Yeah. But if you're going build wise,
right.
I mean, this is a year. This is
if we're doing like a full back half and cab cage and a full front end, like a full front to back build is like a year.
Crazy.
Like if we do like just a front end, like a mid travel or something like that, it's about 3 weeks, I want to say. Depending on what we got going on and what the schedule's like, but it's 2 to 3 weeks. For doing like more like a mid travel build, so like a mid travel. Sorry.
No, I'm just looking.
Like mid travel bed rack, with like leaf spring shocks to the bed, stuff like that. Fiberglass, like the works from a stock truck to like the shop truck type build or something like that. We were talking like 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
For something like that.
Yeah. That makes sense. I had sent one truck in. I think it was about 8 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, it's just, you don't really think about it when you talk about these builds or you see these builds on like YouTube and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. Well, yeah, that build took a year. It took a year and a half to do. And that's a long time. That's crazy.
Some even longer.
Some even longer. Yeah. And these are just guys that have like a Raptor. Like it's essentially a disposable Raptor at that point, but they have a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 even, and they're saying screw it. And they throw a lot of money at it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's nice when you get a build and you're not snowballing it the whole way through. And that's typically the long-term builds. That's how they go. Like Oscar's truck was a snowball. Oscar came in for a front suspension prep and you end up with a completely different front kit and a 4-link back half and a cage, and it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. With certain customers are that way though, and they know it, they're just like, let's keep going and add this and add that. And Tony, in the current truck we're building, he's just been, we had some ideas going into it, and I gave him a good upfront quote, basically to replicate Oscar's truck with a couple little tweaks. I brought up a couple different ideas that we could do this and that, and brought the swing set idea to him, and he's like, dude, let's do it. So, but thankfully we planned all this stuff early on in the build. It wasn't like we're cutting stuff off that we already did. We definitely, that's the worst. That is the worst. Yeah. Going backwards on build sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's a good customer to have though.
Yes.
To literally sit there and just be like, not open checkbook, but be damn near close and be open to and but receptive to like what you.
Sure. Yeah. Builder, he wants to. Yeah. I'm giving him input on how we can make stuff cooler, and he's all about it. And it's awesome.
That's cool. What do you think, other than a full build? What do you think like guys are most going after right now in terms of like a modification? Like, do you think you see a lot of guys? I mean, we talked about it. Some guys are going after suspension, but they go pretty crazy because out of the box, the truck's pretty good. I mean, it's good.
Insanely good, really.
Yeah. There's nothing else that touches it. Even there's nothing else that even holds a candle to it.
Nothing even remotely close. All the other manufacturers are 15 years and $15 billion behind. There's no catching up now.
No, I mean Toyota had their little sneak peek. That they got some spy shots. I said it in a comment. I've always thought that the closest competitor to a Raptor will not come from Chevy or from Ram.
You're totally right.
It will come from Toyota.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yep. And they have the longest pedigree. I mean, Ivan Stewart. I mean, that's a long time ago.
And the kind of money they were putting into that program is insane.
And they didn't forget. Exactly. They just hadn't allocated the money, for the last 10 years to build something that is essentially a completely separate truck from a TRD Pro.
Right.
And now they are. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah. I think so really too. Cool. I'm all for competition, and I've talked to the Ford Performance guys a lot, and they are too. That trying to get their hands on everybody else's stuff, see what everyone's doing. But that's good. That's good. That's good for us. That's good for the consumer. Good for the customers and better trucks.
It breeds improvement.
Yep.
I mean, you have to improve. I mean, I don't want to say that the R is directly because of the TRX. I don't think it really is, people were just, I mean, that was the biggest complaint of the Gen 2 was no V8, right? But it was performing better than the TRX other than on-street speed.
Right.
Right. So I don't think Ford having to put the V8 back in the Raptor was a direct correlation to the TRX being a V8. But I think it was probably basically trying to keep up with a little tit for tat. And guess what? Who got a V8 Raptor out of it? People.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
So, yeah. That's
100%. Because I think that if that challenge didn't present itself, they
Mm.
might have just stayed where
They
they
might
were.
have just stayed with it for maybe for another 3 years, and then they did it,
Yeah.
right? But now the TRX had been out for 4 years, and then shit, man, we have to do, you know?
Yep.
Basically, it's the horsepower race kind of,
Yeah.
you know?
And then, like, yeah, I mean, Ford's in a good spot where they can just be like, well, you guys gonna make something better? Well, we'll just make it better because we have the funding in the program and the money coming back in from it now. So,
Which is crazy that I think it's super cool just liking desert sports that a tier 1 manufacturer is willing to do something like that. You know, not so much ego, but they want to dominate the off-road space. So for them to say screw it and to put that much more money into a program that probably is making money, obviously it makes money,
yeah.
but to put more money into a program to sink deeper down the rabbit hole just to be better is cool, you know? And then in the end, the consumer gets a better truck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Shouts out to Jim Farley. I think he's doing a great job as a CEO.
maybe he'll be on the podcast one of these days.
Jim, can we get you on here?
Yeah. I think we might be a little ways from that. So you've been in the Raptor community for 10 years?
Yeah.
Like 11 years?
About 10 years, yeah.
Yeah. So does it differ from other communities or not really?
Yeah. So
more nerdy and douchey or what?
they're all nerdy and douchey, I think. So yeah, like I was telling you earlier, my dad had a Jeep when I was in middle school. We weren't really like Jeepers, so we didn't get like into the Jeep scene or anything like that. But I know some people around that scene and stuff, and there's some great dudes around there. It's just different culture, different desires. I think. I think I think they cross paths a lot, but I think that the guys in the Raptors do genuinely like speed more than the guys in the Jeeps.
Yeah.
Even though they can do the same things for the most part. Like
up until about 60 miles an hour, they can do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, and up until rocks that are 3 feet tall, you can do
Exactly.
the same thing too.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But the Raptor does everything better until the rocks get to 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
And
which is a very small population of the off-road community that wants to tackle
small amount of trails
rocks.
that even have that, you know.
Yeah.
And then
Johnson Valley mostly.
Yeah, and if you really want to get back, you know, go do it, just buy Bronco Raptor.
Yeah,
do it better
that's
than
true.
Jeep again.
Yeah, that and go put 40s on it, and then you basically have a Jeep killer.
Exactly.
You know, or a stock Jeep killer at least.
Yeah.
But so when did you get involved in actually racing?
So yeah, it was in, I think 2014 was when I was working at Brenthal and did the Baja 1000 with them.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first like real race I was like a part of, you know, and on pit crew for and anything. I started racing my truck. I did my first race in, I think, 2018. The shop I used to work for, they had a 6100 truck, and I raced in that truck a bunch, which was super cool. Not a bunch, like a handful of times.
Like co-driver?
Okay. Yeah. And then when I was going to school in college, I had finished prepping my truck and came back and did a race with my dad and destroyed the truck. It was not ready for it. And it was, the engine cage failed and the motor blew up. But it was just like I was scrounging every penny I had just to get to that start line, you know? I made like 50 miles and then I just totally underestimated what the race course was going to be like in my truck. And then, rebuilt the truck. And since then we've been having some good luck.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's class 20?
2000. Class 2000 is...
Oh, it's class 2000.
Yeah. 2000 is leaf spring unlimited, basically.
Okay.
I have a stock front suspension style, so like A-arm or I-beam, no center mount. But pretty much unlimited, you know, big shocks, steering, whatever. And
are you engine unlimited?
Engine's unlimited, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I got a pretty good motor in my truck, and thing does pretty good. It's fun.
Yeah.
Leaf spring, mid-size trucks on 40s are a good time.
Yeah. So have you won any races?
Yeah, we've won a few races. I raced the More Series, which is like a pretty small level, you know, like a medium level, entry level race series. We race in Barstow and Lucerne and Glen Helen. And race every 2 months. Missed the last race, but did the other two this year.
That's right. You came to Pismo because you missed that last race, right?
That's right. Yeah, truck wasn't ready. Let's see if I'll have it ready for a race in September.
When's the one in September?
That one's out in Barstow, I think. Towards the end of September, I think. Yeah, after the weekend, I think after our run. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You stoked for that?
Hell yeah, I'm stoked for that. It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of prep work.
Yes, it is. Yeah. A lot of prep work.
To do it right, it's a lot of prep work.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. We're going to some amazing places, and got some new faces coming down. That's always fun.
I like the new people. I like new people. I like, in our club, because it kind of segues into like the group thing that I was talking about. But, I like to look at us as more of like a club than like a Raptor run group, and it makes sense. I mean, we have so many repeat people year over year and run over run, that kind of thing. But I think we fall more into the club atmosphere just with the guys that come, and it's like everyone like mile one and everyone's already laughing and joking and someone gets stuck and it's funny and the whole thing. It's not like a Raptor run where you're like very stiff and rigid and you don't really know these people. And I remember my very first one ever, was super nervous. Just like didn't really know anyone. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you barely know how to operate a radio. And I'm sure, everyone's experience varies, but I remember that. And I was like, dude, but then it hooked me. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Cause I just took my truck that I drove on the street a bunch, watched a bunch of YouTube videos about this very exact thing.
Right.
And then I did it. And then I just drove home and I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I remember going on Raptor runs when Raptor run companies were just getting started, and like some of the the staff guys, no one knew what the hell they were doing. It was just a total mess, but it was fun. Everyone was having, I think runs are so cool, and I think a lot of people like in my position don't like runs, like they don't like it's like a lot, because like, especially the new guys, it's like there's a lot of inexperiencedness going on, but it doesn't really bother me. The safety aspect sometimes does a little bit, but. But I think it's cool seeing new people around and just seeing them do goon stuff or just figuring it out and seeing people's smiles when they go hit cool trails for the first time, and like especially if they're haven't been out with people who know what they're doing or been to any really cool areas, because you can go to Ocotillo is beautiful, but it's not like exotic or insane. Barstow is not gorgeous or but you go on a Raptor run, any of the run groups really, they're pre-run trails and mapped out, and we will know what they're doing to find the cool spots, and then you can go on those runs and experience those spots, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not just us, not just SoCal Raptor runs. I mean, you could be watching this, and if you're in Arizona, go to Arizona Raptor runs. Sure. If you're in Texas, go to Texas Raptor runs. They're all over. Yeah. But yeah, I like the new people because we have Kenan to scare him straight a little bit in the driver meeting or whatever, and then they're usually not the problem. Yeah. They're usually not the problem. And as time goes on and run after run, they get more comfortable, right? So maybe then the speed picks up and whatever. But at the same time, the experience level picks up, and so they it's kind of a tit for tat, and hopefully they don't get themselves in any trouble,
Yeah, for sure.
But I like the new people. I remember back to when I was doing it, and I got like hooked like really quick, and I was like, oh man, it's so cool now to have done like 50 runs. And then I go and I see like a new person, they get hooked. I'm like, dude, it's so cool, right? So cool. Like it's so cool. And then they're all about it.
Yep.
So
and then it's also fun like seeing familiar faces. I've like been some customers have been down to Baja with like 7-8 times, and you're like, oh, you see them again, and you're like, oh, I remember 4 years ago when we were doing that. Just the stories never die. It's a good time.
I think it picks up because especially like the way like just men are, right? Like my best friends, I don't talk to. I just share like 9 memes a day with, like back and forth, Yep. And then like every like other month we like talk for a little bit, Yep. Or like we'll see each other, and then like it's basically like that with the Raptor runs, or at least with like the club atmosphere. I see these guys for like 3 days, 4 days, or sometimes 8 days, in Baja. And then we just go home, and then we just like live like completely normal lives, and we send memes to each other, this and that. And then in 2 months, we like go hang out in the desert for 3 days.
Exactly.
And we're not camping. You know, and I've got that question before. Well, are we going to do a camping run? I don't like camping. So I don't really want to camp. There's so many.
You can have me lead that one. I'll do the
You
camping.
can lead that all day long. The food logistics and the
totally
overnight, sleeping logistics and all that. I think
and the weather starts going south.
The weather starts going crazy, and I think that just kills my interest in it.
There's plenty of overland groups doing camping trips every weekend.
Let them do it. Yeah, and those don't need to be Raptor specific because they go to wherever they want to go to, and you don't have to drive 100 miles an hour to go do it.
Yeah,
but seeing friends, every other month and hanging out in the desert.
Yeah, I always feel like, the long Baja trips, and I felt like the same way at Nora this year. It seems like adult summer camp.
Yeah.
When you see the same guys every day, just, oh, hey, what's up? And cracking jokes from 3 days ago. And then, you go back and then go back to your lives. And it's like, whoa, it's over now. And then you still have like those kind of special relationships with the guys you met on the runs though, especially down south. And it's like, especially you go through some crazy experiences, bad recoveries and late nights and stuff like that. And you're just like, man, remember we were going through that. And it's cool.
On the last podcast, we talked about recovering that Ram that Ford brought.
Oh yeah.
And that was like a year ago, like over a year ago. And Rob and I still talk about it because it was like 3.5 hours of a recovery. And it was just crazy how many wenches it took and basically straps it took and all that kind of stuff. But it was a year and some ago, and we still talk about it. Like it was like, we just recant it like it was yesterday, just funny. So yeah, I think we're definitely in the more club atmosphere, which is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a pretty cool group of guys going on at Pismo. You got to see like everybody kind of out, and it was really cool vibes there for sure.
That's a good one simply for that reason.
Yeah.
I don't love sand driving. I think if you hang out with me long enough, you probably know I don't like sand driving that much. Dunes, or maybe I shouldn't say sand. Sand is fun. I actually like sand. Crowded dunes with a lot of variables involved that you kind of have to head up some of those variables.
That's a 250,000 people on a football field size.
Yeah, that kind of situation. Like that's a concern that I have, And so Pismo is like a big concern in that regard. And so we try to safify it a little bit and have spotters and this and that. And we don't do like too many lead things. We kind of just go out and do the jumps and hang out and all that. But I like the amount of people that go out to Pismo because it's definitely more people than go out to a run. And I want them to go out and see that we're not dicks.
You catch the vibe, and see how everybody is and everything, and the pressure level and all that stuff.
Yeah, and arguably, there's more pressure for me to go out to Pismo and go jump my truck in like one jump than there is to go do like 150 miles a day in like Mojave. I'm like, whatever. I just go do that in a second,
Yeah.
But to go jump my truck, I'm like, everyone be careful.
Yep. I need a little more horsepower for that jump next year.
Yeah, you were good. You were high up there, but you could go more.
Yeah.
That one guy in the blue truck, too hard, too fast. Hey.
The slow-mo looked rough.
Yeah. And the air shot looked really cool, though.
Air shot looked sick.
Air shot looked great.
Yeah.
So what do you think a new person who's never been off-road or maybe just, maybe never been like an organized Raptor run, what do you think that they should know before going out? Do you have anything?
Like on a run?
Yeah.
Um,
Because a lot of these guys, they watch like the YouTube videos of like us going and doing Oregon, or we go do Mojave, or we go do Death Valley.
Yeah.
And they still have questions, which is totally fine. But what do you think that they should know like before, other than just like you have to have a radio?
Yeah, there's pretty much no skills are required. Any video you see of people doing something sick, don't feel like you need to do that.
It's probably also their first time.
Yeah, exactly. And that was probably an accident.
Yeah. Well, that was a very lucky shot that Adrian got to film them doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think don't be scared. Like the groups are cool, mellow. I think no
skill required.
No skill required. Just be smart. Much. Yeah. You don't have to be like an expert or have a ton of. They're for people that don't have experience. They're not for people with a bunch of experience. So yeah, don't be afraid to.
Yeah, if everyone had all the experience, they wouldn't probably come on as many runs as I put on.
Right. I don't go on Raptor runs for the guidance. I go because I just like
it's fun.
The fun and the vibe of it, and then the people and then the conversations you have at the stops and stuff. And
the not off-roading alone part is like the big, like for me, is a big factor, like a big draw.
Yeah.
Right. You know, obviously I put the runs on. I want to go out there and have fun. But yeah, not off-roading alone. I think it's a super bad idea to off-road alone. And I see it all the time on the page. The guy's like, oh, I went out to so-and-so today. Or, you know, and I did 180 miles. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You did 180 miles alone. You're just lucky that something didn't go wrong, you know?
Right.
And they post their truck and there's like no second spare. There's like there's no jack. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, off-roading alone with little to no equipment, just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So that's a draw for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no skill required. That's a good one. I'm gonna ask everyone what they think, you know, people should know before coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
no skill required. Have a good co-driver with you.
Have a good attitude.
Yeah. For sure, have a good attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I think I think also like go into it with like low expectations. You know, I think it's just a smart way to go. Like, because stuff happens on trail sometimes, and sometimes there's breakdowns and things like slow down. So, you know, if you go into it with low expectations, you're going to have the greatest time ever. Because like even during those breakdowns, you'd be like, oh crap, we're broken down. But then you're going to go hang out with someone for 20 minutes and have a good conversation. You're cracking up and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, it's very much a, you know, it's funny. I played golf in high school, and so it's not very team sport golf, but they have to make it a team sport, right?
Right.
And so your score combined with your other, you know, team scores, and that goes against the other team score, and you know, that kind of thing. But off-roading is kind of similar. It's not a team sport. I mean, you can go drive a truck alone all you want, but the club and the events are like team events.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing them as basically a team.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, go into it with like a team atmosphere and in a team mindset, and they actually become a lot more fun that way. Yeah. You know, if you go in there and you're like just you by yourself and you don't talk to anyone or whatever, if that's what you feel comfortable doing, that's fine. But
totally.
Don't feel the need to like be by yourself just because you see other people talking and whatever. Just, you know, you talk about trucks and whatever. We're not, you know, we're idiots, but we're not like, you know, assholes.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So
yeah, I always hate seeing people that are like secluded on the trips. You know,
yeah, I feel bad.
I feel bad too.
I go talk to them.
Like, a lot of times that's just how they are, and they don't mind. But yeah, I always just want to be like, come on, join the group. You know,
just go talk to us.
Yeah, yeah.
But what's your favorite place to off road?
Man, I
know the answer.
I saw this on your prompt for the questions, and I thought about it for like a long time. Actually, I've been thinking about it all day. And I don't really know.
It's a good question.
I think I had to put Baja at the top. Mm-hmm. Some of the spots you just can't get them anywhere else. It's they're so unique. Honestly, the Oregon run we did was so cool. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was so cool. It was just so different terrain. Death Valley is rad. Every time I go there, I hit a new trail that I just and you're in some area that you didn't think was on Earth. You know, it's just crazy. I'd probably say those areas. Yeah.
That's my exact list.
Yeah, Oregon, Death
Literally,
Valley, Baja.
Yeah. It's stateside is Thai, Oregon, Death Valley.
Yeah.
And then anywhere would be Baja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do the Sonora run and Flagstaff.
That's gonna be a good one.
Sedona, Sonoras.
Sonora. It took me a second. I was like, I know what he means.
We would not survive there.
Very long.
Yeah. Sedona and Flagstaff is going to be sick. I'm really excited. I haven't done any off-roading out there, so.
A lot of fires right now, which is a little bit of a concern. I'm hoping that they die down over the next month or two. Yeah, a lot of the trails that we're planning on doing are like red right now, which is not good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're constantly monitoring it. But
we have some time.
Yeah, some time. Yeah. Late October should settle down a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's after the Ford event, and that'll be cool. So last year we did Moab to start for 4 days, and then we rolled into Lehi, Utah, and then went to Ford's event, which was, it wasn't in Lehi. We stayed in Lehi. It was Fairfield, Utah.
Yeah.
And that was cool. Single day event, and a lot of shit packed into one day.
Yeah. It's 2 days this year, right?
They're doing a day and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like a day and 3/4 kind of thing, the way they have it planned.
Are you doing the event? Do you get a pass and everything?
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't get it. I didn't get a pass.
I'm like speaking at it and stuff.
Oh. Big dog. Yeah. I'm going out there, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to do the event.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's just
mixed opinions on it. You know,
I definitely want to go and hang out with everybody.
And I can sneak you in my truck.
Yeah, maybe I'll go in the back.
I'll talk to someone. underneath.
Yeah, exactly. All on the drive shaft.
Please do. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. Kind of being on the inside of it and seeing some things that they're doing and what their schedule looks like and everything. It seems cool.
Yeah.
They're going more than they were last year. Food was a little bit of an issue last year. I think they fixed it this year. That was a stumble that they had. And then like signage and kind of itinerary and making sure people know where to go and what to do. I think they've highly upped that.
Really?
Because last year we had a booth right next to all the other groups kind of thing. And people come and go, where do we go for this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. You can ask
your
it.
staff.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know. You can ask anyone, and that has a Ford name tag.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they didn't know, and yeah. So I think it's gonna improve this year. Location should be good. We got winded out last year. It was like tear the easy ups down at like 3 p.m. kind of thing.
Do you know where they're having the event? Is it on the island?
It's Lake Havasu, and it's going to be on the Arizona side of the channel right by the lighthouse, right that little beach right there.
Yeah, it's on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Sick.
Right on the water there.
Yep.
It should be good. We got hotel nearby.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my co-driver's got a house right there on the island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it should be a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to a bunch of dudes in Texas that are going out there. There's gonna be people from all over the country there.
That is the cool thing. Like Texas Raptor does Texas.
Yeah.
It does the big run in Texas. You get a lot of people from all over the states going and doing that. Then they have what's the snowball run.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming from all over the states to go do that one. And then Baja is obviously just a big draw just from all over just to come to Baja.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Ford's event. And Ford's event is going to be wherever Ford's event is that year.
Mm-hmm.
But you get a lot of people from all over the country going to it. So it is cool. We talked to a guy that we met in Moab last year, and he was from like Vermont. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going, holy shit, you're in Vermont? And then he drove to Moab. He's like, yeah, just messing around for a few days. And then he's like, I'm going to go north. I'm like, that's cool, man. So people make a thing out of it.
It was the craziest thing. We went to TRR this year, the shop, and me and the guys at the shop did. And the craziest thing that, I don't know, everyone from Texas or Georgia or Louisiana is going to call me a dumbass because they already knew this. But it just dawned on me that none of these guys down south there's no public land.
No.
There's no off-road trails for these guys.
Zero.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
TRR is the only opportunity that guys in Texas get to drive their truck really off-road. It's like kind of crazy.
You have to find those tracks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Private events and things like that. And we were talking to some other guys that were like, yeah, we go to a couple in Georgia and, one in Louisiana. And
Durham town or something is over in the southeast or east area.
Yeah.
South Carolina, maybe. I don't know.
That was it made me sad. I was
I know.
I feel bad for all the guys because like if I got nothing going on the weekend, we're hitting a trail. Like we're packing up the lady and the kid, we're going to hit a trail, and that's just what we do.
Yep.
But yeah, not having that ability or option would be pretty sad.
Pretty sad.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I learned that a number of years ago, and then we were thinking about, oh, what if we didn't live in California where we live, and we were throwing some states around, and I was like, but there's no public land.
Yeah.
I literally, that was like one of the.
You look at Texas and you're like, I don't want to live in that state because there's no public land.
Nope, no public land. Yeah, it would be really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then California is number one
in
all of 50 states. Number one.
Yeah. Yeah.
By like a lot.
Yeah.
By like a lot. Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
The Utah's got a lot too. Mm-hmm. Arizona, those states,
basically the Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest.
Oregon, California. Oregon is like Northwest, but basically from Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and some New Mexico, and some Idaho.
Yeah.
I think it said Arizona. Yeah, Arizona.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I mean, it's crazy. There's some Colorado ones. So people are going to comment, oh, I have one trail in Colorado. Okay, I'm sorry.
There's some sick trails in Colorado.
There are.
Yeah, like Central Colorado, there's a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a run in British Columbia.
It's on the list.
Oh.
It's on the list.
As soon as you said, shh, I think I remembered us talking about that.
Yeah, we
before.
talked about it.
I think we talked about it in Oregon, actually.
Yes.
But
hey, wait a couple of years. We're gonna do another one.
I spent a lot of time on maps and studying trails and stuff like that, and there's a lot of cool stuff up there.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
I know.
And
yeah, we have some big plans for the next 3 years. I mean, obviously after as well,
yeah.
But the next 3 years will be pretty big plans.
Oh yeah.
So that might be one of them going on there. Be a long trip.
Yes.
Long trip.
That's a long trip.
Yeah, that's an investment.
It's like driving to Cabo just to get to the start line.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the same drive back. Just
to get home from the end of the run.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it'd be a really good time though. We're very slowly putting that one together, and we're already like loving what we're seeing, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane.
Yeah, just imagine like Oregon, but on crack.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Totally. That's literally what it just gets prettier. Like
with like, with like probably nicer people. Probably not though. Oregon has really nice people.
Yeah. Really apologetic.
yeah. Maybe they're not nicer. They're just more apologetic. Well, sorry. What do you think stops people from coming out on runs?
What stops them? Probably, I think thinking they need driving skill is a little bit of it. Kind of what I touched on earlier. I think it's just like the lack of confidence, like self confidence a lot, and then not familiarity with the group, like feeling like the whole group knows each other and you don't. I feel like is a thought that people get.
Yeah, I think that's number 2.
Yeah,
I think that's number 2. I get that one, and I understand that one a lot.
Because on social media we try to make it look like we're all friends, right?
Sure.
And
I fucking hate half them. I'm just
kidding. By the end of a trip, we're all like family.
Yeah.
But what you don't see there is that on day one, everyone's shaking hands, and on day whatever, everyone's giving hugs and saying goodbye. You know, it's like that's how it always starts and ends.
That's how every single off-road event.
Yep.
Our group, DA, I'm sure TRR, they all are. Yeah. That's how every single one of them is.
Yeah, our camera guy with Back to Baja, that was Greg. His favorite thing to say every trip was like, at day 1, shaking hands, and day 5, we're giving hugs. That's just how it is on every run.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah, I think that's number 2 on my list. Number 1, I think, is people think that they have to have parts. I see that like I get an email or 2 a day from guys, and I want to go on the run. I want to be a member. How do I do it? And literally that, the emails and the comments, whatever, every single one of them says, "Oh, I'm just waiting to prep my truck up a little more." I'm like, just go.
It's a Raptor.
Go. Just go. And they think that they need the 2 spares, and they need the jack, and they need if you go alone, you may have a little bit of a case for that, much more self-sufficient. If you're in a group, just go. Yeah. It is so easy, because I have a Pro Eagle, you have a Pro Eagle, 9 other guys on the trail have a Pro Eagle, and we have a 37 spare, we have a 35 spare. The chase truck has spare parts. I mean, there's essentially, shy of like no clothes, like you could show up with like nothing and be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, we have waters, we provide you lunch. I mean, this basically, again, it's shy of no clothes. You could show up with nothing and be completely fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's the one thing that stops people, is they think that they have to have more equipment. We have the tools, we have the patch kits, we have the air, we have the tires, we have the jacks, everything.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, if you do show up with those things, make sure they are strapped down and secured.
Yeah.
Definitely had that happen before.
A couple of things fall out.
Hey, my gas can's upside down.
Yeah. We had that on Death Valley.
Yeah.
We had a gas can that was either, it was not secure, and then the lid popped off and the gas went everywhere in the truck bed. I felt bad for the guy. He cleaned it up, but he got it on his hands, on his clothes, and whatever. It just, sucks, And then I've seen like missile hazards in the bed.
Oh, so yeah. I was going to say.
Loose Pro Eagle. Not a good thing to have.
I did a Barstow Vegas run one time, probably like 2018, 19, and this guy showed up, and I was following him, and I saw this shit bouncing around in the bed. I'm like, what's going on? We pull over. He had a jack stand, a tire, and like some other parts back there, just like in the bed, just chilling, and just like banging around, and just like a rough power line road to Barstow. Just just sending stuff over the bed line. Like, dude. A jack just beating up your bed. Yeah,
no. And then I've had people think that this is the scariest. I had someone open their door and they had a Pro Eagle strapped down in the cab. What?
All right, I've done that in my race truck, actually.
Have you? Could you imagine, though? Could you imagine the missile hazard that is a Pro Eagle on a rollover? Or a hard turn. Don't even hurt yourself. How about a hard turn when that strap loosens or breaks or whatever, and the Pro Eagle goes whack, and it just literally sails itself into your rear passenger door, right?
70-pound weapon.
70-pound weapon, completely denting the inside of all your shit, whatever. Now imagine if it was a rollover and that thing decided to enter its chat into the front driver's seat compartment.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, insane.
Yeah.
Insane. That scared me. I saw that. I was like, that needs to not happen. Like, whatever you're doing, don't do that. And they put it in the back. And then use the same ratchet strap to strap it down in the back. Ugh, that's not good. So yeah, to your point, strap.
Yeah, before you go,
tie everything
make
down.
sure to call us and get an accessory rack, which
there
has
you go.
all the mounts. Plug.
Good plug. Yeah. No, that's fine. You can plug. That's fine. Yeah, so I think that stops people thinking that they don't have enough gear. But yeah, if you have gear, make sure it's the right gear, and then just secure it down. And don't buy too much gear.
Yeah,
we went over that last podcast, and I got mixed opinions. People misunderstood from a short clip, but you don't need a lot of gear. You don't.
I have a lot of gear. Mm-hmm. You don't need what I have, but if you have what I have, you can pretty much fix
anything.
As long as you got parts, you can fix.
Well, that's why we have a Bailey, because then you don't need a lot of gear.
Yeah, yeah. We the shop truck. We did. We chased the Nora for Shelby Hall and my buddy Brady, and they raced the Bronco DR, and that thing fell apart every single day. Every day it needed 4 hours of work. The first night though, it was bad. We lost the rear end, lost like the front transfer case, the sprag. It was a disaster. Front coilover. We had to rebuild the whole freaking truck. And front coilover doesn't sound that hard, but that's like the hardest job out of all of them. Actually, on the DR, the way it's set up is a joke. And so everything we did on that car, the whole 7 days of Nora, we used tools out of the shop truck.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You never had to use a different tool.
No, everything we had was in the shop truck. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Parts were on the chase truck.
Parts, yeah, right. Parts from the chase truck, but
that's really cool. So you want to bring family back out on a run?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's always a little tricky with that because I feel obligated to bring another mechanic with me on runs typically, because
the bigger ones.
If nothing's happened on the couple runs we've been on, we haven't had big breakdowns, but if something happens, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna do whatever we can do to fix it, and hang back and make sure that's all good.
Yeah.
So I'd hate to bring the lady and have her stuck with a bunch of problems, but she's down with it though. She knows how it goes.
She's a trooper.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to you about I guess upcoming tech is next. So yeah, Ford's changing a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you see coming down the pipe for what's up next?
I think they're gonna make
have an idea.
the Gen 3 look like a piece of crap with the new one.
Yeah. The 24, 25?
The 27, the 27, 28.
The Gen, probably the Gen 4.
Yeah, the Gen 4 I think is gonna be put the Gen 3s to shame. I think they're gonna look like Gen 1s.
Oh, you think they're gonna
the performance side of things out of the box? I think it's gonna be like the comparison of a Gen 3 to a Gen 1 is gonna be like a Gen 4 to a Gen 3.
You think, really?
I think so.
Wow. Why?
I think
what are they going to improve so much?
Well, I talked to some of the Ford performance guys, and they kind of gave me a little bit of insight on a couple of the things that they have working, and it's pretty impressive. But I think they're gonna do bigger tires. I think they're gonna do
more than 37.
I'm gonna do 39s.
You think?
Yeah. I'm pretty confident with that one. I think they're going to do 40 spline axles on the rear end.
Okay.
I'm really hoping they're going to do a full floating rear end.
That would be nice.
I think they're going to change up the rear suspension, and I don't know. I think they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. Really, nobody really does. They didn't tell me any of that information.
Sure.
But he said they're going to change something, and I think they're going to do something along the lines of getting a 4-link or just a different suspension that's even better than the 5-link they currently have.
I agree with you on the 4-link.
Yeah.
I think that could be a thing.
Yeah.
You don't think that there would be a DOT concern with 39s? I mean, the KM3s.
They already have them.
Yeah,
they're already DOT'd. I thought so.
I just think that's so crazy.
I think it's crazy too.
I think it's fucking crazy.
I think that it's already the standard right now.
37's the standard.
39s is becoming the standard pretty quick here.
39 is definitely. Think about 2012.
It was 35s.
It was 35s.
Yeah.
And you were crazy, man.
Yeah.
If you put on 37s because you had to hammer the pinch
couldn't
wells.
Couldn't find 37s because they were so rarely produced. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand that. Obviously, I'm not a stranger to change. I understand that. But you think 39's that quick? You think as of 2027?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think they'll put a BFG 39, which is like a real 37. 38.
It's like a 37 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty confident with that one. I think they'll do the dual live valves, and I think they're gonna have more improvements there.
Will it be a mud terrain 37? You think?
I think
Or
they'll
39?
I think they'll do a BFG all terrain.
All terrain.
The KO3.
KO3 39.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Been wrong.
Could be right.
Could be right. The 40 spline axle, though, I think that'll be a huge game changer.
Sure.
That and then if they do a full float, that's bigger than the 40 spline in my opinion.
That'd be great.
Because then
you'd see it in the price tag, though.
You'd see in the price tag. It's you just have the unit bearings aren't that expensive though. If they do a unit bearing like a stock front hub, basically for the rear with a dry flange in it, I think it'll be like affordably doable. But the problem with like the trucks right now when you build them and doing the rear ends, like Robbie Woods right now is coming out with his RW80 third member thing, whatever, the e-locker. That's badass. The problem when you put like a fabricated rear end in trucks with like a full floater housing is the third member stuff. So you can put like a true track in it, but true tracks only have 35 spline axles. So if you want to run 40 spline axles, which 35 is what stock is. So if you want to have bigger, stronger axles, you have to go to like either a spool or a Tube Works or a Gearworks mechanical locker, which are like $8,000. So it's just not a feasible.
I'm just wondering where you're going to see it in the price tag. Because you're going to see it in the price tag. So I didn't know if,
Yeah, but I think that they're finding ways to like little areas where they can push and make it stronger and better without totally breaking the bank.
Yeah.
I think if they do a unit bearing rear end, kind of like a Spider Tracks housing does, with their like a stock style third member and a little bigger axles, that thing will hold up to the 39s, no problem, and be a lot more sustainable. And then you're going to see a lot less people putting actual fabricated rear ends in their truck.
Yeah. I think that'll change things for sure.
And then as far as the front, and then the other thing they're going to change is they're going to get rid of a bunch of electronics. Well, they're not going to get rid of electronics. They're going to simplify electronics, and they're going to separate networks, I think.
Okay.
So that when you lose an ABS line or when you lose a turn signal, you're not going to lose your modes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's my
You think I mean, I'm not talking shit on Ford, but you think that that's smart that they're going to try to do that? Or do you think they're going to
I think that Ford's listening to customer demands right now. And I think that's been the number one to like complain about the Gen 3s has been the electronical issues because just about every single Gen 3 on trail.
I've had it in both of mine.
Yeah,
I've
throws a code at some point or another.
Yeah, both
and
of mine.
Disables your modes typically.
I haven't had modes disabled yet in mine.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah, it's
I've
very common.
I've had it for 5 months or something, 4 months. But yeah, in my last one, I had it for sure.
The fail safes are so like
abundant.
Yeah, it's so abundant, and then they're totally paralyzing in the vehicle. Like last year, we were down in Baja. And my dad's Bronco Raptor was having a couple of issues, and we were like in San Juanico, and the thing was like the alternator like wasn't charging. It had some weird code thing, freak thing. Okay, whatever. Well, then it was like dead, and then we couldn't put it in neutral, so we had to like hook jumper cables just to get it into neutral. And it was just like a total nightmare just to flat toe it. Yeah, so I think they got to get rid of some of those restrictions. And I from the people I've talked to at Ford Performance, I think they're going to get rid of, or at least simplify some of them.
Yeah. I think you'll see from a communication side, I think you'll see the next sync version or something related to that. And then I think you'll see more integrated Wi-Fi networks.
Yep. I totally agree.
Because that's the next step. And if you think of like you're talking like a hard part, I'm also a hard part, but like a soft part or soft goods would be, additional connectivity, right? So they understand if you're talking
like a Starlink type thing built in. Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about listening to customer demands, I mean, if you are building this truck with 39s and 40 splines, I mean,
what's he going to do with it?
Well, that he's going to go do something with it to where there's no service.
He's going to be off grid, right? Exactly.
And so that they're going to capture that network just like they're capturing the Blue Cruise network, just like they're capturing not network, but basically that. Jesus Christ, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I think on that, I think there's gonna be a bunch of upgrades with the sync stuff, and then the off-road mode options. I think are gonna be kind of cool. I think they're gonna have some different stuff. Like I heard some rumors that they're gonna have a little thing that can measure your jump height.
Oh, no way!
And so you can kind of compare your jump heights and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a bad news bears scenario right there. Just to your buddies.
More data collection. It's gonna show you more data stuff and.
Sure, imagine that.
Yeah.
I jumped 4.9 feet, and your buddy's got to jump 5.0.
Yeah,
Oh God. That's bad news bears.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I think you'll see an all around better truck. I don't know if I subscribe to the 39 theory yet. I mean, you seem confident.
That's the one I'm actually the most confident about.
By what? By who?
My friends.
Your friends? Inside friends?
Yeah. People at Ford Performance I talked to.
Okay. And they're pretty confident about it?
Yeah, that was the one that they were not, that was like the one thing they weren't really.
Do you think it'll be, I could see it this way. A 37 becomes the standard 35 package, much like a 37 package is now. And then you can upgrade to a 39 package.
I think that's, I'll clarify. I think that's more so what I was saying.
I think
there.
that's the way
it'll be
I
a 39 package, like a 37 package.
Much like there's a 37
I don't think it'll be like the standard
across the board.
Right.
I don't know if I could see that.
Yeah,
but 39 package, and then maybe with the 39 package, you get a 40 spline. Maybe they have not a 40 spline rear end.
It's totally possible. Yeah.
With the other package.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't think that deep into it, but I would totally think that would be, at least on the tire size, it would definitely be an option, just like it is with the 37s. Because everyone was like, thought 37s on a stock truck is pretty crazy.
I honestly still think it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I have a 37 stock truck.
Yeah.
I
thought it was wild when the Bronco Raptors come with them too.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. But then the Ranger Raptors have like 31s or something.
Is it 33s? 33s? Yeah. Yeah. It is unfortunate. They're like the lame duck of like the Raptor,
but sleepers though, probably the funnest ones to drive.
They are actually they're like rally cars.
Yeah,
like they are really cool.
I've
driven one and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, I really want to drive one. So if anybody has one, so let me drive it.
Careful. Interesting. So you think, okay, all right. So 39s or 39 package, upgraded rear end, which I think it needs. 3.2s, probably just more refinement, and then some connectivity upgrades and probably some looks enhancements, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we talked a little bit about a truss on the rear end too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I think this is my next you can put it in the books. I've said it since last year. Position dependent or position specific wiring. Just like the Bronco Raptor. I think you'll see position specific wiring. So there will be wiring pre-plumbed to the A-pillars. There will be wiring pre-plumbed to the passenger side of the A-pillar up high for like a roof light bar.
Yeah.
Which I don't condone. But there will be wiring pre-plumbed to the inside of the bed in the rear end. So you could,
third brake light, right? Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I think you will see that. Like that will be the next lighting wiring improvement.
I think they need to put, I think I did talk to him about this. I think they're putting bigger relays in there too.
As they should.
Yeah, the Gen 1s were the best.
Gen 1s were the best. Well, actually, you know what the best is? The Super Duty.
Super Duties, yes.
Super Duty's the best.
Yeah.
The best. They think you're running winches and whatever else, which
right.
Why would you ever run through a switch to do that anyway?
I just don't really, I don't understand, like, did the Gen 1s have too much power? Like, were people complaining about them having too much amperage?
I think it was the alternator.
Okay.
I think it was the alternator, and then you get to a 3.5, right, high output.
Sure,
and
that makes more sense,
you got to rob power away from the motor. The motor doesn't have enough power to then also power an alternator that's powering these heavier relays. And so you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so they're reducing all that. And now they've not standardized the increase, the 5.2. They haven't standardized that. So in my truck, 5.2, I still have small relays because they can't not standardize that, So maybe in the next truck they standardize it and they improve it, whatever.
Yeah.
I think hybrid for the next Raptor.
I think
I've said that for about 5 years.
Yeah.
I think Gen 4 is hybrid.
So on the fucking electrical note, I've never been a hater of electric vehicles because I know they're coming. And when they're more badass than the gas ones, I'm going to be able to say, hey, I didn't talk shit on these things. Because when you have instant torque to all four tires.
That's all better. That's way better.
Everybody can shut up because it's going to be violent and insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick.
It will be violent.
It's not there yet. It's sick right now. What already exists, like if you look at the bikes, right, the Surons and stuff, it's crazy. But you can just lift the thing up and it makes no noise, and it's weird. It's different, but internal combustion engines will never go away. I love them forever, but I'm not going to deny that the electric is the future. It's going to be crazy.
I think hybrid is the future.
I think you're more right.
Hybrid, there's so much bad juju around like a full electric. California's electrical grid can't even handle it. right? That the 2035 initiative's gone. You're seeing like a complete divergence away from what was the plan, right, for full electric vehicle. It can't happen. It can't happen.
Right.
So what's the next best option that's still going to net not only, a more greener society, but that's going to net just a better miles per gallon? It's hybrid. You can use hybrid. I had a hybrid car. I've never not liked hybrid.
Right.
I've not liked full electric. I think the thought process behind that is faulty, right? But hybrid, I think you'll see a Gen 4. I think you'll see it with hybrid off the line, electric off the line, and I think you'll see it switch over to gas at 35 miles an hour or whatever, and then gas takes over.
Yeah.
Or certain metrics or parameters, and then it lets gas take over. I think you'll see that.
Yeah, I hope they're cautious with it, and don't put out a product that's not ready, because
just to do it. Well, they're not fighting the market. There's no one else that's doing that right now in the off-road world.
Right.
I wonder if you'll see 2 Raptors later on. I wonder if you'll see a hybrid with 37s and the things we've talked about, and then you'll see a V8 with 39s, and that's the crazy one, and that's $129,000,
right.
Whatever, But then the other one's $91,000, $97,000, whatever,
Yeah.
That maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and if the hybrid is beating the Raptor R, what are you gonna? I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, it's faster. It's going faster right now, so that's the faster truck.
Yeah,
that's what I want to go in.
Yep. No, I agree.
I like the sound, and I'll never get over internal combustion motors. Like I said,
the sound is cool. I mean, I have a Raptor R. Sound is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I were faster in
performance,
if I were faster in a hybrid, I would have a high. I've literally said it before. I go, honestly, I wonder if I just get whatever the non-R is for the Gen 4. I wonder, I don't think I will. I just the R again. But if they make an R, I assume they will. I assume that, there was talk that they weren't going to make an R again for 26 and 27. They're making an R. So, especially with cafe standards going away. Cafe standards are gone. They're making an R. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't think the new generation truck's going to come out until 28.
Yeah, what did I say to my buddy the other day? We were talking about this. I'm going to pull it up because we were talking about it. I was thinking 27 is what I think I said. It was literally 2 days ago that we were talking about this. I said, it's fine. I'm going to read it right here. I said, Ford likes 4 to 5 year production cycles. And I said 2010 to 2014 was a 5 production year cycle, right? 2017 to 2020 was a 4 production year cycle. But I think that the Gen 2 was meant to come out in 2016, but they couldn't do it in time. So they pushed it to 2017. So that would have made it a 5 production year cycle. The 21 to 23, which was considered the Gen 3, was 3 years for the first consideration of the Gen 3. 24 to 26 would be the 3.5, right? The Gen 3.5. That'd be 3 years. That would be 6 years between design cycles. So you'd have 5, 4, and 6, or potentially 5, 5, and 6. So I think 27 is what I told him. I said, I think 27.
I think it's going to be an issue of timing, though.
You think?
Yeah. This is what the Ford people were telling me.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're shooting for 27, but it's breaking 28. They were like they were like, the guy is like, he's been around since the Gen 1s. He's like, realistically, it's going to be 28, but who knows?
Yeah. I would give him that, especially if they're going to do all this that we're talking about.
Yeah.
If they're going to try to figure out a hybrid in there, if they're going to try to figure out 39s or a different rear end.
The way that they were talking, they're doing a lot of changes to it. Like, it's going to be a very different truck, and they know their competition, and they know it's going to be, it's going to be better for sure. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Are you going to change anything based on that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have to see what comes out and adapt to it, and, start seeing where their weak links are and
trying to improve.
Try to compromise. Yeah. Try
aftermarket-wise.
Make new stuff. And
yeah.
It's getting harder for us, though, because these new trucks are getting so good out of the box. There's always more stuff to do, of course. But
there's always looks, too. Some guy doesn't like the front bumper, and I think your bumper looks the best.
Thank you.
Not because I ran it, but I think it does look the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Your skid plate design was great. The frame horn cut was great. and then the valence. I still like a really clean, good valence bumper is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it
It's
too.
very, very simple, very nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Bumpers are very important part of the look of a truck, in my opinion. It's the first thing you see when you see a truck in the front, and it's there forever.
It's there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then lighting. I mean, it's not like stock lighting, just aftermarket lighting.
Yeah.
Having a little hoop to toss on a light bar, or toss on Baja Designs lights, whatever. Yeah, important. You can't get that from factory. You have to. You could go factory and then get like the Fouts one
kit, whatever,
that just gives you a hoop on the factory bumper. But yeah, if you're doing frame cut and you're doing all that kind of stuff, then no, you don't have that anymore. So you need a good little hoop on there to throw some lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think the future of off-roading looks like? And I only ask that because off-roading in the past has kind of been a little slow to change, and things that work, right? I don't know if like a EV, like specifically EV, not a hybrid, would work off-road, right? There's no charging station in the middle of Baja.
Right.
What do you think the future of off-road looks like?
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a lot of like very nuanced discussions to have about that, and like because you have EV. What about hydrogen? Hydrogen's easier to store fuel for. So it's so nuanced. So I don't really know, honestly. I think that electric will have more of an impact though. It's because it doesn't need air too. You don't need air filters for it. Like like internal combustion, or propane motor or something like that. But I think I think electric will have more of an impact. It's got the worst rap in our industry. I mean, ever. And they try to race the ball 1000. Everyone just shits on them so hard.
I know.
It's like brutal.
Every time they do it.
Yeah. And I'm like,
and they remember the one where they were conveyor belting batteries in and out of the truck.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They literally was on like a little zip line system,
Yeah.
and they were zip lining in and out the batteries to like fast change them into the car. That was awful.
Yeah, that was bad. They got to come up with something better than that. There's definitely some improvements that need to be done. It's tough because you go out with the guys that hate it the most, right? And you're gonna like try to prove to them that it works. It's just it's
got to be easier and better, and it's not either of those. It's better in certain scenarios, and it's certainly not easier.
Right.
So
so there's a lot of work to be done, but I think there's something there. It's honestly like saying that 4-wheel drive is never going to be a thing, because I remember 6 years ago, everyone was like 2-wheel drive forever.
Yeah.
Guys already tried it. The 4-wheel drive, it doesn't work. And here we are. Who runs the world right now?
Trucks.
Mason is running every single race. Yep. So, and I was part of that crew that shit on 4-wheel drive. I was like, trophy trucks will be 2-wheel drive forever. And
and they weren't.
They're not. Nope. And so I think it's the same thing with electric. I think we'll be going down the same boat.
I just wonder if they're, and I'm not, I don't know. I don't know why I have such a thing against all electric.
I mean, it's.
I just wonder if the hybrid is just the better solution.
I think it's totally,
because you need the miles per gallon. I like your idea about the no air filters and all that, but that seems like a recoverable problem. Like you could kind of get away from that. But imagine if you didn't have to stop as much for fuel. Imagine if you had better off the line speed, or out of a dig, or you needed extra, some extra power out of a rut, and you could have you could have EV or not EV, but you could have electric assist kind of thing. I wonder if that's better off than full EV motor.
That's why I think it's very like nuanced and like that. I think there's a lot of, I don't know much about electric powered stuff. Like I've driven a Tesla, but that's about it. I see it, I read about it a little bit, and I find it interesting, and I think that if you just take a step back and look at it, it's definitely, there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
How it gets applied, we'll have to see. I don't really know that side
especially
of it.
Especially to a semi-fun truck. I think an EV Raptor or whatever probably works fine on the street.
Yep.
But that's, and granted, that's probably 75% of the customer base. There's probably only 25% of Raptors out there that go off-road, and then there's 5% inside of that go serious off-roading. So they are covering the vast majority of their customer base with an EV Raptor. But I think that goes against like the ethos of why a Raptor was made.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know what it looks like. I just want to pose that question and see what you what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it though. I think I definitely think there will be some E involved.
There will be some E involved somehow. All right, so final question. So what I always ask this, what's your favorite like off-road snack? Like when you go off-road? I mean, I've been off-road with you a bunch of times now, but
yeah, I like you know, nothing healthy.
no, you shan't do that.
Yeah, you know, Smuckers and candy.
Yeah?
Yeah. What do I eat? Usually Swedish Fish and Smuckers and peanut butter filled pretzels. I like those.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those little pretzels. They're little flat, and they're in like the blue and the white bag. It's like a big blue and white bag. They're like flat pretzels.
Oh
like
yeah,
pretzel
I know those.
chips. Yeah, I like those.
Those things
yeah,
are good.
yeah. I like those. Those and Pop-Tarts.
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 That's funny.
That was what. No, that's not me. Kenan turned me on to that. Yeah, we were in like Moab, and we were totally like we were broken down waiting on someone, and he popped open his cooler. And he's like, "You want a Pop-Tart?" I'm like, "Fuck, that sounds really good right now, man." I'm like, "Yeah, I want a Pop-Tart." And then ever since I've had Pop-Tarts on runs, and that and Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its are good.
Yeah, it's fun going on a run with Oscar because at some point during the day he'll just go bust out drumsticks for everyone. He says drumsticks in his freezer.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those little the strawberry shortcake ones. Those are really good out there too. Yeah. What's your favorite music to listen to off road?
Man, we're all over the map in my truck.
I hear the shop videos; they're all over the place. I hear Ozzy, then I hear like Frank Sinatra, then I hear all different stuff.
Yeah, you get a little Hank, a little, little I don't know, Kesha and Korn, and you never know. All over the map.
Yeah, no, eclectic is good.
Because usually, if we're on a run, that means we probably did a long road trip too. So we've been listening to everything. You know,
try to cycle through at least something. Yeah.
And at the shop, we listen to music all day anyway, so it's just like keep it flowing.
And then, what's your absolute favorite place that you've ever off-roaded?
We already talked about this, but I think
not just like Baja's a big place. Like, do you have a place inside of that's like your favorite
in Baja?
Yeah,
like the spot.
The spot,
the run, the trail.
Yeah,
something like that.
Don't blow it up if you want to, but.
Yeah. Let's see.
It could just be a town or a
region. There's some runs down in like near San Juanico that are really fun. Down south, south of La Paz, actually like Los Barriles is gorgeous. Beachfront down there in between like La Paz and Cabo. The national park in La Paz is gorgeous. I like that a lot.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we're running we're running all my favorite trails.
Be there
next
in
month.
5 weeks.
Yeah, we're hitting some awesome trails next month.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. That was a good time.
Yeah, good time.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
All right. Cool. Right on, Chad.